Fire away, JP.
Kirk, you took a real big shot there late. How are you feeling? How's the back?
Fortunately, I'm feeling just fine. There was a flash of pain there, but by the time I got to the sideline and settled down, the pain subsided and I was feeling fine. So I feel like I dodged a bullet there and was pretty fortunate.
So how good does it feel to finally get a win after a few weeks?
Winning in this league is, the greatest of feelings, and we work so hard all week, all year, and it's great to get a win in front of our home crowd, and they cheered us on to victory, and there's so many reasons we were able to come out with a win today, but really appreciate the way the defense stood up time and again to give us a chance.
Hey, Kirk, the offense didn't play bad or anything, but I'm sure there's some points that you feel like that you guys left on the board and whatnot. But the defense, it kind of really helped you guys out, kept them out of the end zone the entire game. How helpful is that when, if you guys leave some points on the board, your defense is there keeping the other team out of the end zone?
Yeah, we've said it in previous weeks and going back to last season when we've had our red zone struggles that it's hard to win in this league if you're just settling for field goals. And so I was really pleased with the way our defense kept standing up in the red zone and forcing them to come away with 3 instead of 7. Really was a big difference in the final outcome. And we just didn't get enough opportunities, only 15 plays in the first half for a variety of reasons. I mean, turnovers, miscues, long drives by the Cardinals. But when you only run 15 plays in the first half, you're not going to get much of anything. And we were fortunate to have 14 points in part because, again, of the way our defense played, creating that turnover and giving us a short field inside the 10-yard line to try to score.
Similar to last week, you guys don't run a lot of plays today. Your numbers, statistically, you wind up fairly efficient. But how do you evaluate how you played, all things considered?
I think I played well. I think, I've been frustrated with third downs this year. We were a top 5 team in the NFL the last 2 years on third down. So that hasn't really been a major struggle for us. And yet today, 1 for 9. We just haven't been good enough all year long to sustain drives. And didn't have a lot of explosive plays today for whatever reason. So there's plenty of things you go back and say, we could have, should have done more. But it was that kind of a game, too, where you have to play conservative at times, protect the football when your defense is playing well, when you have a lead and also the clock's running out. It's not the time to be aggressive and start throwing the ball into coverage. That's the time to start running the clock, being a little more conservative and play for the win. And, our defense proved us right in that case.
Obviously, your personnel on third down matters, and Jordan and Chris are 2 of your biggest weapons there, so you can chalk some of that up to that. But when you look specifically at the execution points that you haven't been happy with, can you expand on those a little bit?
Oh, it's anything and everything. I mean, when you shuffle 26 different offensive lineman combinations, that's going to make it hard. When you have injuries, there's been all kinds of things. And, we also – it's going to be hard to convert like 3rd and 23. If you guys have a play for 3rd and 23, I'd love to have you draw it up and mail it to Redskins Park because we don't have many. So we got to stay in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and that's another stat that you don't see that can be hidden is how many third downs are actually makeable and how many were unrealistic. So combination of things, but when you're better on third down, I think the final result of a lot of our games this year would have been better as well.
Kirk, sorry for making you repeat yourself from earlier in the presser, but you've told us before about how winning cures a lot of things, whether it's outside noise or just confidence around here. So the fact that you are back on the winning side today feels a little better coming off the field?
Yeah, there's no doubt that winning makes you feel like you're on the top of the world and losing is the other extreme. There's no in-between in this league, and that's what makes it such a roller coaster. But we always try to, rise above that and be mature and look at, why did we win? What did we do well? And then what are the things that almost cost us the game? And when we lose, point out what we did well and how close we were to winning and focus, again, more on the process than on the final result. But the final result is what it's all about at the end of the day, and just so glad to have that win this week.
Now, Kirk, you guys are unfortunately one of the top teams in injury reserve this year. But how do you feel, all of the guys stepping up in big times, how do you feel about all of the guys that have come up in clutch moments for you guys so far?
Oh, it's a great feeling when players that you pick up who are with other teams in the practice squad and we're just looking for an opportunity when they arrive and then they make good on that opportunity. I think of E.J. Bibbs today. He's been a joy to work with the last couple of weeks, and he's shown some burst and some ability, and it was fun to get him a couple opportunities today. And up front on the offensive line, we've asked a lot of those younger players, and anytime they can make good on that and play well, it really is a thrill to see those guys succeed. It's fun for me to watch them continue to grow as players in their individual careers.
How close have you guys been given a really tough schedule and a ton of injuries, you're an inch away in Kansas City from winning. You got a 99% chance to beat New Orleans. Somehow they get it from you. How close have you had to having a good season despite a lot of tough things to get over?
Well, and I think that goes back to the comment on process. That, when you look at the process, I think you can see a lot of positives, building in the right direction, a lot to be encouraged about, and bodes well for future years. But I think there's still a lot to play for, in the sense that if you come away with wins these last couple weeks, that's a different narrative than if you don't. So as much as people can write off the playoff picture, for us individually and for this organization, there's so much more than that to play for, to really be building towards future years.
Kirk, it seemed like today you took care of the ball really well, and even when the defense was on you, you held that one ball on the one sack almost like you were holding your newborn. You grabbed him tightly and didn't let go. What was it about this week that you changed your mindset and were holding it tighter, didn't let go, and basically weren't going to turn the ball over today?
Yeah, turnovers are such a critical stat to any season. When you go back and look at the final stats at the end of the year, the teams that win and go to the playoffs are teams that protect the football and create turnovers, and the teams that don't are the teams that turn it over and can't get it on defense. So, those sacks are going to happen where you're trying to make a throw and you have one hand on it and they get it. We try to eliminate them as much as possible. We do different drills throughout the year to keep two hands on the ball and create that muscle memory. But Chandler Jones, got there a couple times, and it's just so important to not make a bad situation worse when you have that pressure, and try to make sure you come away with points or field position or whatever it needs to happen, even if it's not a touchdown or a big play. Sacks are going to happen, and you just can't allow it to snowball into something worse.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thank you.